Today's edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox is brought to you by Gulfstream Park.
Hold the mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome fave with shafafa on.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Right on time today, 1 o'clock, punctual start, just like the post times. Well, at certain tracks, Gulfstream usually runs a little bit behind. We are at 10 Palms, Gulfstream Park, Hallandale Beach. I am pumped because we are getting ready for a huge weekend of excitement. We got Panthers going on tonight. We got the Preakness going on tomorrow, and we have right next to us Jeff Defo DeForest. He belongs on the Mount Rushmore of sports broadcasters in South Florida. That's according to, I think it was Ben Crandall of the Sun Sentinel, very esteemed.
He must have been out of material.
We've got the legendary Tony Segreto. We've got Mike Lubie Lubitz.
Now he belongs there. No.
On camera today, looking nice in his. It looks like he could be a jockey. It looks like a Silks or a prison. He could be going to prison today.
It could be at Seacott there. It's the same outfit they were wearing down there. They changed the colors.
And I got to start off with an apology to Tony Segreto. I am wearing this Panthers shirt. It's part of my superstition, along with my beard that's very gray that's growing out for the playoff run. And it's a little bit ripe today. This has not been wandered since the Game 2 loss, which I don't even know. That's been like 9 days.
I was going to say something, but you know.
Sorry, we'll get closer.
You know what? The aroma of the food is actually overwhelming whatever stench you're emitting right now, so it's good.
Yeah, and Lubie, tell us, what did we order on the menu today? You got a nice array of dishes here at 10 Palms.
We always like when they have try and touch on the specials, just to keep it fresh and showcase all the things they do, not only on the track, but in the kitchen here. And not only Gulfstream Park, but 10 Palms. Italian wedding soup, which has become one of your favorites.
I love it. Little meatballs and little pearl pasta. It's good.
Shrimp cocktail, Tony with his Greek salad and his feta cheese, which he's able to share with Defo with his blackened chicken breast. We haven't had in a while, and they do a really nice job with the calamari appetizer, and it's a nice portion we can share. The rigatoni alla vodka, something we've enjoyed, and the blackened shrimp. And then the special of the day, the catch of the day, they call it, the branzino with mashed potatoes and green beans.
Looks nice. A Fish Friday here at 10 Palms, along with the green beans, mashed potatoes. And Tony, you and Defo, it's great. They're like an old married couple. It's like you split it up. He gets some of the feta cheese. You get some of his chicken.
I'm surprised that he doesn't go for the feta cheese.
There are two.
That is one of the best things they have here.
There are 2 blocks of them.
Yeah.
There are 2 blocks of them. So I give him one.
You're a man of moderation. It's evident in your frame. You are looking very lean, mean, not mean. You're a nice guy, Tony.
Nice
but
guy.
You are definitely, you know your portion control. It's something that I've been learning over the past few months.
It's good to know portion control because, I get out of hand once in a while.
You kidding me? What's getting out of hand when you order a steak instead of the salmon at Texas Roadhouse?
Pretty much it, yeah.
No, but every once in a while, I'll have pretzels or something like that.
That's going out of hand, Tony.
You're a wild man, Tony.
Thank goodness
Segreto.
we have you. You keep us grounded. Jeez. Pretzels.
Okay, forget it.
Defo, this is the day. Well, it's the Black Eyed Susan Day at Pimlico. Not exactly on par with Kentucky Oaks Day, but still, nevertheless,
it's still
people around the Baltimore area are celebrating horse racing this weekend. It is the 150th edition of the Preakness, and I learned something this morning. I was quite astounded. Not only that Ken the Professor is one of the world's funniest humans, which we knew already, but I did not know. You've never been to Pimlico?
Never. No.
What explains that?
Look, I've been to a lot of racetracks. I can count half of the, maybe 20, 25 racetracks, but just never went. I've never been to the Preakness. I always wanted to go down to Bowie when I was a degenerate teenager, but I never made it down there. Never been to Pimlico and never been to Laurel. So
I've been to all 3.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Because at one point I was dating a woman that lived in the D.C. area, and when she'd go off to work, I would go off to the races.
Of course. Well, you told her you were going shopping for gifts for her.
Exactly.
Pimlico, I would call, how kind of like Aqueduct is a little bit gritty and for the serious
I like
horse
Aqueduct.
player. Pimlico, they called Old Hilltop. It's been there a long time, but it is, gritty. It is for the grizzled horse playing veterans.
It's the last one at Pimlico, right?
Yeah, well, they are knocking it down, redoing it the same way they're going to be. They're redoing Belmont Park, so that's why the Belmont, for the I think second consecutive year, going to be held at Saratoga at 1.25 miles, not 1.5 miles. But before we get there, we go to Pimlico, and I think you'd like it, Defo,
I've been
because
to Pimlico and Belmont.
yeah, okay, and I've covered the Preakness. I've never been there as a fan, but their infield scene can be pretty wild. And we got Joe Beja is up there, and
He may touch base with us. He's
Okay.
gonna try.
he's a very busy man, kind of
Yeah.
overseeing all the hospitality setups. And
He's,
do you-
he's great.
I don't know-
Watched him on Instagram.
oh yeah,
Oh,
I
no, he's
haven't
very
seen it. I
active.
haven't been following the
He is
IG this week.
he
but,
is
but he gets
so-
around. Yeah.
Oh my God.
He's
And
very active
I
on
guess
Instagram.
the question, besides who's going to win the big races today, the Black Eyed Susan, tomorrow the Preakness, Defo is having a kind of option to give people all they can drink, whether I think it's beer and wine at a Triple Crown event.
Oof.
Is that on par with like Disco Demolition Night?
Pretty much.
Defo, what do you think of how that's going to go?
I'm always in favor of all you can drink. Lubie's a cruiser now. I the first time I took a cruise, I didn't realize how expensive the drinks were going to be, and I almost dove into the ocean right at the dock there when I got what is it, the purser that you have to go and
Purser,
see?
yeah.
Purser
At
or
the end?
purser?
It's with a B in it.
B, yeah, and I couldn't believe it. I was in sticker shock. Literally, it was kind of like getting tagged for a couple of mimosas at a brunch.
It cost you more than the cruise.
I really did.
He
So-
thought he could leave with the boat itself.
Well, I didn't realize what a lush my wife was. No, no, at the time.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, a couple of drinks, cost you a fortune. So Lubie, he's in on the all-you-can-drink package. I'm in favor of it. I really am. I mean, but then are you obligated to drink way more than
That's
you
the
normally
That's
would?
the
Because
problem. It's like
You
going
wanna
to a
get your money's worth.
buffet.
Yeah.
Like
That's
you
the
tend to overindulge when
Right.
it's like you feel like,
You wanna
I
make
got to
your
get my
money.
money's worth.
you think I got to make up the first 400 on day one, and so you get $400 worth of drinks, and now you still got the rest of the week.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody's going to be well behaved. And again, last one at the current Pimlico. What's happening is they're going to knock it down. They're moving it, I think, to Laurel Race Course for a few years until
Yes.
Pimlico gets
That's what Joe
rebuilt.
said.
And when Pimlico is rebuilt, it will no longer be under the auspices and management of
Stronach, right?
the Magna Racing Group, formerly known as Stronach.
Okay.
I think it's reverting to a new
Oh yeah.
Maryland Racing Authority, same way that in New York, NYRA, the New York Racing Association, runs the tracks. I think that's what's going to happen with Pimlico in the future.
Oh wow.
However, it is going to be a celebration, 150, and
Who do you like?
well, I have a particular rooting interest in River Thames, which is the river that runs through London, is named for Todd Pletcher, who is 0 for 11 in the Preakness, a Hall of Fame trainer who's won every other big race, and he's never won the Preakness. And he's sending in a fresh shooter, River Thames, who ran here throughout the winter championship meet, and I like him. I think he's sharp and he's ready, and I've got him in the future book. There was a future book on the Preakness, and I got him at 29 to 1, only $5, but it's enough to root. And then I've just plowed into him on the Black Eyed Susan and Preakness doubles. So if River Thames comes in, he's going to be like the 4th or 5th betting choice, and I am going to
Got
take my
great
chances
odds,
on
huh?
him. Now I know. Defo, all of a sudden, you're a chalk eating, milk and magnesia chugging pig.
You got to go with the people that have been closest to you. I think.
I have to recuse myself from making a selection. No, I do. I mean, I got very lucky through our mutual friend here, and he's been on the show. He was gracious enough to come outside when we were out there, and it was 150 degrees
Yeah.
in the summertime.
Luca.
Panici. So I knew Luca was part of the whole Italian connection in terms of jockeys. And there are 3 great Italian jockeys out in California that were prominently featured in that Netflix series. Frezu, of course, Frankie Dettori, legendary guy, and Umberto Rispoli, who I had great respect for because the guy's been just killing it out in California for a long time. So Luca hooked me up with an interview with Rispoli, and the response to it was fantastic. And after talking to the guy, I can't root against him.
That's on your
And he's a
Bleacher
jockey
Brothers.
on journalism. Yeah,
And journalism is the heavy favorite
Oh, it
going into the
is.
Preakness.
should be.
nice.
He Umberto Rispoli, in the morning
Well,
line.
what a sweetheart of a guy though too, and a great
How
guy.
handsome is he? Those piercing blue eyes.
Oh,
That's
my
just
gosh.
dashing.
I knew you would fall in love with him on the video. No, yeah, I mean, he really kind of came out in the Netflix series as a guy that you would definitely want to know. And then Larry Colmus is good friends with him. He was also on the show, so I had them overlap, and it was kind of nice. And then he told the story about how Rispoli met him at this restaurant, which is a great place. I think it's called Maceo's or something in Encinitas, which is a terrific dining town by Del Mar. A lot of great places, a lot of interesting choices in terms of food, and with a California tinge to them because it's very health oriented, a lot of stuff. But this was an outstanding Italian restaurant. The whole racing world goes there. It's kind of like Monero's was here.
Yep.
And he said that, Rispoli, who had just come to this country, he meets Colmus, and he stops and he says, "Oh, my God." And he immediately gets in touch with several of his friends in Italy on a call, a collective call. And he's taking pictures, and he fell in love. He loved Colmus, so they were famous friends. And
Larry is very cuddly, and
Yes, he
although
is.
no,
there's a lot-
what a sweetheart of a guy he is too. I mean, and he nailed that Derby call. I was so proud
this
of
year
him.
was
Yeah.
great. I know he was kicking himself a little bit for picking up Mystic Dan a little bit late, but he got it before
He
they
got it.
crossed
Yes,
the
he did.
wire
Yes,
last year. This year, absolutely brilliant call.
And it was not easy because the 21, the 20 blanket or whatever it is, 21, I guess, the also eligible horse, Beja, looks just like the blanket on the two.
It's
the
a
saddle cloth.
weird color. Yeah.
I mean, it's the same thing.
You're
I
right.
lost it when
You're
Rich
right,
Strike came up
Defo.
the rail. I thought,
Yeah.
oh my God, who the hell is the 2? And it was the 21.
If it was the 2, I would have had the trifecta, and I would have been doing cartwheels because that was Safi.
I
That
always
was
threw my
Safi.
tickets out. I thought I didn't have the try. Yeah.
The number 2 horse was Neo Equos, and I thought for a minute it was him, and I would have had the try for like $4,
Yeah.
and because I love Sovereignty so much, and it wasn't Neo Equus, which was.
But
the
you would have
Safi
thought
Joseph.
it was.
And then when I saw it was Baeza, I was crushed, but I still had Sovereignty. But Larry Colmus again, I love.
What a great.
I love
comedy
good
game.
wordplay, and obviously you think of the possibilities. And when Sovereignty came up past journalism, and he goes, "Sovereignty rules the Derby." Obviously,
Yes.
He
you
had
know,
a little Dave Johnson in the call, though.
Yes,
I
he
mean,
did.
it's always great. He did a little
So-
nose to nose.
So
it was a good call.
is tomorrow going to be? And journalism is back from the dead, or
Yeah,
something
something
like
like
that.
that.
You know, like because
Sure.
journalism, the profession.
I don't
is-
think Umberto got the joke when I said, I hope
Yeah.
journalism isn't dead.
Yeah, no, I think
Every now and then you run something by a guy on a show and you're thinking, I shouldn't have
Yes.
said that.
loses something in translation.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
don't wash any will on any of the
No,
equine
no.
athletes or
No
the
way.
jockeys, but journalism, the profession, and the concept. I think it's
It's hanging on by a
it's
thread.
hanging on by a thread. But tomorrow he does look like a strong second choice. I think going back to back 2 weeks, you see the record of Derby winners and top finishers, and when they run back in the Preakness, it's usually pretty strong. I mean, because the horses, if they come out of the race all right, and if they are eating and don't have any infirmities, that usually means they're in peak condition. It's
What do you think about making it a month or
Yeah,
so
what we talked
between
about last week.
races?
well, we've talked about this. I think it would make sense for the whole sport in order to keep Triple Crown a thing and alive. And Sovereignty, his owners just don't care about a Triple Crown because they also are in the breeding business. They're not looking to make millions of dollars in the syndicate business because they're billionaires from the Mideast and they have their own breeding operations all over. So no matter what happens, Sovereignty is going in their breeding shed. And so he's skipping the Preakness and going to come back for the Belmont.
So
at
let me
Saratoga.
ask you, because Defo talks. I love the phrase "new shooters." You guys, where it's but in sports again, we always talk about rest first rust. It's not an automatic that if you have more time, it's better for you, right? So
Right.
again, they're not automatically racing horses because they're scared of what may happen to them. They may want to race them in the Belmont or into the circuit, with the Breeders' Cup and all that. But you were just talking about journalism. Journalism was coming on
I
strong.
think he's strong. He's going to be. He's,
So, like, is it better to have a new shooter who's fresh? Like, what is the juxtaposition? Like, what's the comparison?
it's
to
better
that?
to have a good horse that's in a good flow and rhythm, and journalism is that horse now. And it's the same way, like with the Panthers, and like they're in that flow now.
yeah,
You
I don't
want
want
them,
them having
you
time
want
off.
them
No way.
playing every other day, and now if they close it out tonight, they'll get some time off.
The
But
Panthers were dead.
Yeah, no,
and they woke up.
well, no, they had that time off. Like they had like almost a week off, and you could see it. Once they're a team that plays really much with momentum.
Before we get into the Panthers and the Knicks and even Mets Yankees tonight, it's a big sports night. It's great. But Tony, do you have a pick in the Preakness yet?
No, I don't.
Then let's move on.
It's hard to meet. No, it's hard to. It's hard to beat sovereignty, but there are.
Well, no, sovereignty's not going. You mean journalism?
Journalism.
Yeah. Journalism looks very
Journalism.
strong, but I'm trying to do it with again the Todd Pletcher entry number 6, River Thames. It seems like the wise guy horse is number 8, Clever Again from Steve Asmussen.
What about the one ball, Mike? What do you think about that?
Well, that's a Baffert horse, and
Yeah.
he has much success in this race, and that's goal oriented. I'm a little bit miffed because I thought Baffert's horse in this race was going to be Mattakit Road, who ran second on Derby Day, and I thought was going to be the nice sharp speedball who has class, and I bet him in the futures line at about 40-1. But this goal oriented, apparently Baffert has a shot. Flavian Pratt, one of the top jocks.
So who did
I
you?
think it's an open race. I think 5 horses could win it, and
Yes, I do.
and I'm going to give you my trifecta ticket here. I'm going to do Journalism and River Thames over Journalism and River Thames in second. So those top 2, and that would be on your sheet. It would be a 2-6-2-6 with all, because I think Pay Billy, the local horse, who's listed at 21 in the morning line, will probably go off at about 30-1. Could fill out the trifecta at a nice price. So we'll see what happens. If River Thames beats Journalism and I get a bomber in third, I might be having enough money to afford the dinner that I'm going to tomorrow night down at the Faena Hotel, Alinea, which is one of the top foodie destinations in the country in Chicago. World-renowned chef Grant Achase. Well, he's going on the road. They have a pop-up now down at the Faena Hotel. It's kind of like, how Broadway shows now go around the country. And when Hamilton
They
came
tour.
to Fort Lauderdale and Miami, everybody who hadn't seen Hamilton in New York grabbed up tickets, and they cost a lot of money. And you say, all right, I'm still going to go and see the national tour. Same thing now restaurants are doing. This Alinea is doing like a pop-up tour around the country, and they're in Miami until the 25th.
Oh, wow.
And lucky for me, because you don't want to know the sticker price of this one.
Oh, really?
It's like
You
going
have to
on a
pay ahead?
cruise.
What's the sticker price?
You have to pay ahead for this?
What's the
With
sticker?
or without the wine pairing.
Oh, no.
With it.
Oh,
All right, we didn't
Jesus,
even do
man.
the premium wine. They have 2 levels of wine flights. You talk about pretentious. The base sticker price for just the food alone, and it's 12-course fancy dinner.
Okay.
It's $425 each.
That's not
person-
bad. I
a
thought it was
person?
higher. Yeah.
No, then you add the 2 levels of line. One was
What's the place in Chicago that's like super expensive? My son
Alinea.
went there.
Yeah,
oh,
that's
it.
That's it. That's
But
the
I
one
think
that's
that was
coming.
like he said it was like 7 sticks or something.
Well, we're getting there, Tony. the bottom level wine flight is $225 per person. The Supreme Reserve wine flight was like almost $400. I said no, I don't need fancy. The $225 wine should be good enough.
How
But
is
when
it
you
not-
Was the word comp ever mentioned?
No, exactly.
no, I'm not the schnorrer, and
Yeah,
even though I
You
could
would
have maybe
definitely
tried
snored.
to pull some strings, Val said early birthday present. My birthday is next month,
Oh, wow.
and but with the
Well,
tax,
what's the number on that?
the tax, the tip, and the other thing we're talking about.
It's like a grand.
Is
it more than a grand?
No,
a
it's
dime a person.
a dime a person. Two
A dime a
times.
person.
Yes.
Holy
So I am rooting for
Look at
River.
Lubie
Blacked
just-
out. I just blacked
Is
out.
your
for a
check his
second.
underwear?
I just blacked out.
Isn't that okay? I feel
Oh my
kind of
God.
guilty because no, I feel.
Holy
Hey, he
crap.
broke a sweat just looking at He's not
Stressing me
even
out
going.
right
I think that's
God.
more than the cruise ship
Oh,
booze
God.
Yeah, we went to
tally at the
Spain.
end.
The
For both of us,
purser.
we
Oh
did
my
that.
God! I wanted to smack the guy.
Oh my God.
But no, I consider myself very blessed.
Good for you. Holy
And
crap.
if River Thames comes in tomorrow, I will offset the.
What if he doesn't
expenses.
though? Where does that leave you?
Yeah, what
Oh,
do you
then sorry
You're
about
moving out.
Thank you for the wonderful birthday gift.
Is there a Denny's still down
Yeah,
there?
exactly.
I remember having liver and onions at a Denny's when I first moved here. I was living on South Beach. What is now
Yeah.
South Beach, but it was a dump. It was a ghetto. back then.
Wolfie's. We could have gone to Wolfie's.
Wolfie
Yeah,
was out of
honestly.
business. Oh no, they were still around. They
Yeah,
were still
back
around.
then they were around, but yeah. So the Denny's, and then there's another
Liver
good-
and onions at Denny's was actually edible back then. And then I realized, why am I eating liver and onions at all?
There's a good bare
Liver and
bones.
onions was really good back back then.
good Cuban place
Maybe,
down
yeah.
there on not Ocean Drive, but on the Collins called Puerta Sagua. I think it's still
Huh?
there.
What was that? That was good.
Puerta Sagua. I love that place.
I love
Those
the
are Spanish.
pronunciation.
Yeah,
Those
no.
are Spanish.
And
Holy Hialeah. That
I
was
think
good, Mike.
it's still there. They've raised their prices, but also good, just basic Cuban food. So, you know what? We're going to go to Alinea. We're going to have a good time. We're doing a little staycation.
I get it. Happens.
Using points, we're going to stay not at the Faina because that's going for $2,000 a night also. Talk
my
about
God.
Two
crazy.
dimes for a hotel?
Yeah, and it's not even like peak season. It's crazy. But
It's a dead of summer. Nobody wants to come here.
That's
What are you
crazy.
talking
and
about?
we were able to use points. We're staying at the Ritz a few blocks to the south. So we're going to have a one-night staycation at the Ritz with a all-inclusive dinner at Alinea. And I am just a very blessed person. And
What if you end up at like Las Patas at the end of the way?
Yeah, well, you be full
Just
after
to
the
eat
next week.
something after
Please
you
tell
have
me
your,
you'll be
Yeah,
full.
your
if it's-
$1,000 meal and you end up at a Chinese
if you
place.
say we're hungry, still hungry because it's all that
Because
very
you have
The Spada
medallions
has a
of
place in
seafood. Yeah.
East.
That's that molecular gastronomy where it doesn't even look like food. It comes out looking like something in a cubist painting, and then
Yes.
you eat it, and then it goes, "Oh, look at all those flavors! How did they do that with that?"
Is a
This-
fish called Avalon still down there in South Beach?
I don't know. That's a good one. I never liked that name.
Yeah.
But
I remember getting medallions of mahi mahi at about $89 a pop. And that was, 40 years ago. And you literally need an electron microscope to find the medallions. And that's when I learned the definition of medallions.
Yes.
It's like super
medallions
small.
means- yes, miniaturized.
In the
pieces
restaurant
of-
world, medallions is not a good word. It's
No.
right up there with market price.
It's good for people like me and Tony who are into moderation
Yeah.
because that's such a
It's
small
fine,
little bite.
But if you're like Lubie and me and you just want to
Wanna
shovel
eat.
food
What
in
do
your
you
face.
Now, what do you get for 12 courses?
I don't know, but they have, they're world renowned for all these
Is it-
fancy
courses?
Well, it's a lot of courses, but it's also
They're like
small
tiny,
little
yeah.
bites.
I took 12 courses my 4 years at Syracuse. Wasn't enough to graduate.
Is it Michelin? And Lisa saying
Oh
it's
yeah,
not
it's,
even
it's
Michelin
like
down there,
Alinea
yeah,
in
wow.
Chicago, I think was 2 or 3 stars at one point. Now they just got totally hammered by, I guess there's still a food and restaurant critic at the Chicago Tribune, and she wrote a takedown piece. I didn't read it. I didn't read it yet, but was just saying Alinea has gotten complacent. They haven't changed their menu or done anything new in years.
Wow.
Nothing
Which-
worse than complacent.
Which explains why it's going on the road, because for people who are not familiar with
It's
it
new
or
for
haven't
everyone else.
gone there, for me, it's going to be a new experience. I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
And they do this very fancy dessert where it's like they put a dessert inside this like balloon, and the balloon bursts at the table, and then you get to the dessert. That's
Oh, no wonder it's $1,000
Like
bucks.
what?
What's the place with the G in Chicago that's famous? Is it
Giordano's Pizza.
No, it's a steakhouse.
Gibson's. I love that.
Gibson's.
place.
Yeah, no, that's a good
Gibson's.
spot.
I love that
Yeah,
place.
We went to Gibson's.
Yeah,
Wow.
I've
used
been
to-
there.
It was great.
Back
It
when the
was
Bulls were
awesome.
winning championships and I was a sports columnist, I'd get to go to Chicago a lot, and I loved going in there. It was open late after the games. All the players, Pippen loved that place.
Good-
He'd
good
come
spot.
in.
Good
Yeah,
spot.
good
Yeah.
spot. All right, let's take our first break. Then we'll delve more into playoff talk and Panthers and Knicks Celtics.
Did you hear Lubie's breakdown of the fourth line of the
I
Panthers?
did. I was
Holy
very
Don
impressed.
Cherry. I mean, what the heck?
I mean,
This kid hadn't watched a game all season.
No, the guy he's become a
Oh,
five-tool
my
player.
God. He's
He
talking
could-
about Marchand. and
He's
he's
part of the fifth line.
He could break down hockey lines.
Exactly.
He at Daniels yesterday. He's going over the dry age steak. Like his palate is getting
He's
really
no fool.
good.
I
It's
just
Mike
learned to
Lubie.
BS. You
Underrated.
just have to learn how to BS. That's
Yeah,
all.
yeah, he's great.
Shh, don't give away my
You're
secret.
hanging around with the right
Exactly.
guys.
I was going to say been with Defo, you and Segreto for years.
Segreto was always truth and beauty. I mean,
Yeah,
we
but-
were always the guys that would
But
BS our
again,
way out
like
of
we've
things.
learned, underneath it all, he's a degenerate. So he was covering that up.
There was a
Yes.
sickness. there.
BSing through it,
There was
you
a
know?
sickness.
Hey, before we take the first break, let me put in the good word about our friends at Tropical Acres for this weekend.
I love that post about the lobster special on Let's
Yeah.
See.
Did somebody post about it? I
Oh,
missed
and people were asking when it started. And
Oh,
yeah.
that's
I
great.
mean,
So,
just nothing but glowing praise.
It is season 4, the Twin Lobster Special. That's why we love it. They actually started early this year, right
Yep.
after Easter, and usually it starts right after Mother's Day. We are in now what's called the lull between the seasons for
Yeah,
us.
but for locals, it's
but
great.
at Tropical Acres,
It's called Skid Row around here.
for a lot of places, but not Tropical
Not
Acres.
the Acres.
They do a year-long
Fine job.
steady business because of specials like this. 2 fresh New England lobsters steamed pound and a quarter each, 2 of them with a salad and a side dish for $39, same price as the last few years unbelievable how the
It's literally
Studio
cheaper than
family
if you
does
try
it.
to make it at your house.
Geez, bad spill.
You cannot
Wow.
make it at home. And sorry to hear that,
Yeah.
but they're running the second race here at Gulfstream,
Oh.
but we'll give an update. Hopefully everybody is fine. The Tropical Acres, Monday through Friday, while
Yes.
supplies last. You can get that Twin Lobster special Monday through Friday. You go in early, go to the bar, happy hour, 4:30 to 6:30. You get those half-price cocktails, including, anything in the joint.
I love
Belvedere,
these guys. I love
Belvedere
Always on it.
Martini, $8. You can't beat that.
You can't.
Light bites in the bar, then go into the
We're
main
gonna get
dining
a
room.
Belvedere martini for less than $8.
Not even my house. My Val charges me more.
Did
It's
she
24
charge
at
you?
your place.
She charges you per drink.
Yeah, because to offset the
You get a
Alinea
break. You get a
dinner,
break if
she
there are olives
set
or
up a
not.
little register by our home
Exactly.
bar.
It's like New Orleans, you have to pay for the bathroom.
But at Tropical Acres, boy, it's all about the value and the hospitality. The Studio Alley family are great. They are open every day but Sunday. They have the half-price wine on Monday and Tuesday. They have the Loyalty Reward Club card for every 12 entrees you purchase. You get the 13th one up to a $35 on the house. And we love Tropical Acres, 2500 Griffin Road. Call them today for a reservation, 954-989-2500. They will be open for Father's Day, so make your reservations now. If you really love your dad,
Yes, they'll love
got that,
Acres.
Natalia? Make a reservation for Tropical Acres. Father's Day will be June 15th from, I believe it's 3 to 8 p.m.
And they have the lobster special on Father's Day, too?
Well, they
Yeah.
have the
Yeah.
twin lobsters available, priced a little bit higher on Saturdays and on those holidays.
Oh, okay,
But
cool.
Monday through Friday, $39. You can't.
And
beat
they have
that
happy hour
deal.
Monday through Friday too, right?
That's it. You got it. All right, let's take the first break. We'll come back. We'll talk a little more players. We'll do a contest too after
Yes.
these words.
Hey Lunchbox fans, is it time to sell your business? You've poured your heart and soul into your restaurant or business, and you want to see continue the legacy you have built. Transworld can help. Call me, Andy Cagnetta, at Transworld Business Advisors right now and see if it's time for you to retire and relax. Iconic brands like the Mai Kai, Mulligan's, Carlos and Pepe's, Mangoes, and many more turn to Transworld to help sell. Contact Transworld on Facebook or call 954-772-1122 or visit tworld.com. Again, that's 954-772-1122 or tworld.com.
When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks, just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks. They're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Guess who's back and better than ever? Juan's. For the best in classic old school Chinese cuisine, a family-run South Florida favorite since 1966. It's at 664 North Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale, open every day but Tuesday for lunch and dinner. Chef Alex is carrying on the family tradition that started 4 generations ago. It used to be known as Christina Juan's Mandarin House, and you're going to love it as Juan's. They've got all your favorites: wonton soup, spare ribs, egg rolls, dumplings, Peking duck, and more. Combo lunch specials daily and takeout and delivery. For more information, go to their Instagram page at wans.fl. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studio Alley family, along with great value for tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Feel like getting away without leaving town? Then you got to check out the House on the River in Fort Lauderdale. It's a beautiful restored historic home with indoor and outdoor dining right on the New River. You'll think you're in Charleston or Savannah. It has a gorgeous patio, porches, and private dining areas, and it offers unique experiences perfect for a date night or fun times with friends and family. It has weekend brunches, happy hour, dinner Wednesday through Sunday. There's also a high tea on Friday and Saturdays, and the popular House of Voucher champagne experience on weekends. The House on the River is in Fort Lauderdale's Himmershey district, just south of the Science Museum. For reservations and
All right, back at 10 Palms at Gulfstream here. A little bit of concern for a jockey who was thrown from his mount during the second race. We hope everybody's okay. We don't exactly know who it is yet, but we will hopefully learn more on
The ambulance is out there.
We'll see. Okay. So anyway, back to playoff talk. Panthers, Maple Leafs, Game 6 tonight at the whatever they call it arena in Sunrise.
American Bank.
American Bank. Come on.
Have
Has anybody banked there?
Exactly.
That's the question.
I've never seen.
you
Where
ever
is
seen
an American Bank?
Have you ever seen it in American Bank?
Never.
So,
No.
but anyway, that's the game.
They're all over
Is
the
it-
place too. They're on other arenas, I think, as well around the country.
They're
really?
around. I just haven't seen the
I like
actual
the
bank
Panthers.
anywhere.
The question
I don't have
hand-
enough money to put in a bank. So it doesn't
Panthers
matter.
have won 3 straight since trailing 2-0 in the series. They have
Yes.
come roaring back, and not only come roaring back, it looks like they've broken the spirit of the Maple Leafs and their backup goalie. Is it a foregone conclusion that they're going to win this game tonight? And if they don't, all of
That'd
a
be
sudden
annoying.
you're looking at a
Game
game 7
7.
on the road.
That'd be annoying. Yes.
Are you nervous, hockey expert, fourth line breakdown analyst Mike Lubie Lubitz?
I'm not nervous. I just hockey's like again, like I said this morning, it's hard to peg that sport. Look, we've seen the Oilers motor through. We've seen Carolina, who if the Panthers won,
It's goofy.
motor through. It happens. Like great teams. Look, the Lightning went to 3 straight Stanley Cups, right? The Panthers have been to 2
Right.
and are through around. So dominant teams do exist. We saw the Avalanche and the Red Wings in the 90s dominate. Like it happens. But it's such a weird sport
The puck
for
takes
me to
funny
be cocky
bounces.
about. Like it's just hard for me.
Oh,
Like
by the way,
to get
last night, how bad did the
confidence.
Capitals get screwed? It was your favorite
I
rule.
missed
Oh
it.
my
You
They
texted
took
me,
a
thank God.
2-1 lead in the
My
second
God.
period in an elimination game, and then like 3 minutes later, they go back and say, "Oh no, there was offside like
Why is that?
2 minutes earlier." And I love your analogy, Lubie, that it's like if on a touchdown drive after the Dolphins scored,
Found a hold.
they would say, "Oh wait." On the third play of the drive, back at their own 20,
There was
we
no
just
offsides.
went back and saw holding.
Like-
So there's no touchdown. I mean, it's
I'm
ridiculous.
sorry, that's
It's
ridiculous.
ridiculous.
Look, in soccer, it's annoying the offsides, but it's usually like bang bang. The offsides happen,
Right.
the goal's right then.
They call it right
They
there.
call it.
This is
And
like
if they miss
continuation
it,
for
yeah.
a minute.
Bingo. It's like we hate to travel, right? They allow traveling in basketball like it's little league, but in the NBA, it's like I swear I'm watching my nephew's basketball when I'm watching Giannis with the basketball. But at least, you know what? Fine. They missed the travels. They don't go back. You know what? Giannis traveled when he got the rebound on the defense. Like, I don't
It's
understand.
a bad rule.
Going, especially
If it's not caught right away,
Yeah,
then you
things
just swallow the
happen.
whistle. No replay. I mean, the team should be able to set up defensively. You know, as long as it didn't impact.
Yeah.
You know, like if it happens, bang bang, then you call it. But if it's like already everybody cycles
There's
back to
shots
their
and rebounds
positions,
and this.
yeah.
It's like, what are
But
you doing?
it killed the Capitals after that 1-1, and then sure enough, the
They scored
Hurricanes
like that,
scored
like
with like
right
no,
there.
not right back. It was like
Oh.
with a minute left in the game.
Oh, God.
The Hurricanes score on the road to take the 2-1 lead, and then they put in an empty netter, so it was 3-1, and that's it. The Das Capitals are no longer in this playoff
Look, you're asking
tournament.
me to treat the Panthers like I'm telling my Knick fan friends.
Yep.
Because they were all excited about Game 5, and I was like, the Celtics, who were supposed to beat you in 5, aren't going to lose in 5. So I presume the Celtics will win in 5. They'll get excited, and I didn't know Luke Cornett would be Kevin McHale, but they're probably going to win Game 5. But don't get down. You're going to go to the Garden. The Garden's going to be utterly
Well, that happened
insane.
the other night. Now they're at the Garden tonight.
You're
Yes.
going to win Game 6. So if I'm not a
I don't
fan,
know. I don't bank on the Knicks.
I think they will.
I have a lot better feeling about the Panthers because they've
I
been
hope
there
you're right.
before. They're hungry again to repeat. They're loaded with talent. I love this team. I don't necessarily love their suspended vice president, Fu Sifu.
I love how you always find a way to work that in.
That was 30 years ago.
I don't hold a
Yeah,
grudge.
the stadium, they're already on the next stadium.
Have a margarita at home. Give your girl the $50.
Sorry, Tony.
It'll be fine.
Go ahead, Tony.
The Panthers should win tonight,
Yeah.
Mic up there. Yeah.
That's cool.
and they'll close it out.
Yeah. Again,
I hope
the
you guys are right.
Maple Leafs look like a broken team. That if they have to
They
go
really
back to
do.
that backup goalie again, he's done. I mean, he is no longer cutting down
they gotta
angles
be-
properly. I mean, he's given up some goals that should not be given up.
They got to be worried about who's playing the goal,
Yeah, and now
and now
I don't know. Is
You can't go
Stolarz
back to
possibly
Stolarz.
back or no?
I mean,
Stolarz is-
maybe, but okay, the guy hasn't played in like a week and a half, so you're going to just trot him out
He's
there
their
in an
best
elimination
shot.
game.
Yeah.
Maybe, but again, if you're the Panthers, you're not worse off by that.
And the thing is, the Panthers have shown they can go on the road in a game
Oh, yeah,
7
they
and
don't
win.
care.
They did it in Boston a couple of years ago. So
Yep.
I don't want them to do that. But I think Panthers, and I know I heard Gurgles, your man, has a
That's
hefty
Panthers in
bet.
6, yeah.
Panthers in 6, so
Yeah.
he needs the victory tonight.
yes,
And if I was him, I would not hedge.
Nah.
I wouldn't take
You
any
know
money.
what's
on-
great? He's become a complete sports betting degenerate.
he never
he was a
gambled.
horse guy. I never heard him talk about sports betting ever. I've known the guy 30 years. He never mentioned that he was wagering on sports. And now he's got the Hard Rock app, and he's sending it in on virtually everything. and he's having some good success. He had good instincts. He had good gambling instincts with the horses. He's a
Yep.
good horse player. And he's got the Panthers in 6 at a pretty good price.
yes.
Well, you know what they could say is that the track is a gateway drug to everything else.
yes, they do.
Because then you go to a casino, you start playing blackjack. Next thing you know,
It's a
you're at a
different type
poker
of betting. though.
tournament.
Racing is a completely different entity than
So-
any other type of sports gambling, I believe.
Don't you love it?
Oh, I love it.
No, I hate it.
Drive to
I
Forest.
love it.
I would swim in this lake if they would let me have a $2 voucher. What are you talking about?
Because it's an intellectual pursuit. It's like a puzzle. You're trying to put together a
It's your
piece
own
of a puzzle,
opinion. Yeah,
and you're
exactly.
figuring out how the race is going to unfold. Sometimes you're right. Most often you're wrong. But when you're right, it's like the best feeling in the world.
Yes, it is. Yes,
So,
it is.
That's why
And you're not playing into
we love the
minus
game.
110 to win 100. You know?
No, you can win some money. Yeah.
So I'm just looking at the replay to
What
make
is it?
sure
Our
to
friend
see
Todd
Oh,
Gazzato?
I didn't get to
No.
see.
We'll have
which
to look
horse
at
it
replay.
was.
We'll look it up. Our friend Todd Gazzato, a horse guy himself, said, I didn't really, and I know that they're going to be nuts, but tickets for the Knicks tonight, again, this is not a conference finals. This is not an NBA finals, but it is an elimination game trying to take out the defending champion Celtics, are going for over $1,100
Oof.
tonight.
That sounds low, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
For one,
Well, there.
One ticket, yes, one ticket. It's like his dinner.
You could have a 12-course meal for that.
Exactly.
well, not at Elena.
That doesn't sound real high for New York, though.
I mean, those might be crappy seats. Like those
Yeah,
might be
and tonight I was looking
the
on the
rafters.
SeatGeek site for tonight's Panthers game. Upper level, you could get in there for 175, 160
Think about
bucks. Club level, I saw some seats going for than the 300, 320, which isn't bad. I
No.
almost want to go out
You
there.
thought about it? Yeah.
Val has no interest, but maybe
Why don't you call your buddy Doug Seafood and see if he could get you a couple of freebies?
He'll charge me triple. Hey, let's do a contest before the. What you want to do the second break first?
Yeah, we can. And Don Jaffe, our reporter, Eye in the Sky, is saying Stolarz didn't even travel.
Okay, so they're going to stick with.
Well, that's what I'm
the
saying.
number
Like, it
two.
is what it is. Like,
Um,
look, until that period, the guy had played well. So,
And
you know, like,
looking back at this race, Defo, I am thoughts and prayers because I think Luca Panici was on
No,
that
it wasn't
horse.
Luca, was it? Oh, my God.
I
not,
saw-
not that we would root against
No,
anybody.
no, no,
No,
no. I
no
saw the
traction.
4 cross the wire. I saw the 7 cross the wire, and
Oh,
I saw
geez,
every
man.
other one.
What,
So,
what a tough businessman.
oh, I
I
pray that
these
he's okay.
guys
Friend, we
are
love him.
the
That's-
toughest. I mean, people always wonder, are these guys athletes?
oh, yeah.
The beatings that they take. Rispoli was talking about the injuries that he had, and he didn't even know. Like, he was diagnosed, and all of a sudden, they find out after the fact, after 3 surgeries, he's got a torn ACL
Oh, geez.
when he was at an early stage of his career. And Luca, he's had a share of injuries in his career, but you couldn't be a
Not-
sweeter person. You met him.
And
We had him.
not only
Yeah.
are they athletes and just supremely fit athletes, but they're daredevils too. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Daredevils.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
it's what other sport is there an ambulance following around
Mhm.
while you're competing?
Yep.
And
That's a tough
that's
one, yeah.
horse racing. And
Trotters.
I pray to God that he's okay.
It
Because
didn't look good. I mean, he went flying off of his horse. I happened to see the incident, and it was not easy to identify at the time. I was only half paying attention, but if that was Luca, Certainly all of our thoughts are with him because he's a sweetheart of a human being.
All right, let's let's take that
let's take a
second
break.
break. Before we do, again, all the playoff action going on the next few days, the Preakness. If you're going to be entertaining at home or just want to throw a good little dinner party for some family and friends, Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market is the place to go. We're going to be there Tuesday.
Nice.
Tony, you want to come and check out all the sausages and drool on the case like I do with the stone crabs?
I think I will.
Okay, stone crab season is done. But Delaware is still your home for the freshest seafood, fish, steaks, and, of course, those house-made sausages. Don't sleep on all their to-go items like that great buffalo chicken dip. Makes a great hit at parties. And they also have the freshest in Key West pink shrimp, fish from the Gulf, waters near and far. I love Delaware. They have been there for a long time. In their current location in Hollywood, 4191 North State Road 7, right across from the old Seminole Bingo Parlor, now known as the Classic Casino. But Delaware has been there since the early 60s. And again, they are doing a fantastic job. They are Lunchbox approved. We'll be in there Tuesday afternoon, but you should get in there this weekend. Pick up some of the freshest products around, quality and service. That is the Delaware way. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
What a better way to spend the weekend.
No, I can just go drool on those
at home and
that
grabbing
sausage
great-
case.
yeah.
That's it. It's a
There you
beautiful thing. All right, we'll be back with more on the Lunchbox and a contest after these words.
Southern comfort food from a scratch kitchen, delicious drinks and house-made spirits from a craft bar, a great vibe inside and out with a spacious patio. I'm talking about Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, Fort Lauderdale, in the heart of the city at 525 North Federal Highway. It's open 7 days for lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch with classics like fried chicken and waffles and shrimp and grits, and creative items like pecan-crusted salmon and a fried green tomato BLT. And the drinks? Smooth sipping and so good. There's convenient free parking and a garage next door, happy hour at the bar, an entire patio, 4 to 7 Monday to Friday, and live music every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's pet and people friendly and with cozy fire pits for when the temperature dips. For reservations and more information, go to batchsouthernkitchen.com. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, and also now with a new location on Las Olas Boulevard. Those are my spots. Upscale food and a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. If you want great Italian food in a beautiful beachfront setting, have I got the place for you. Casa Calabria at the Ocean Manor Resort, 4040 Galt Ocean Drive in Fort Lauderdale. Highly rated across all the restaurant review platforms and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. Delicious, authentic Southern Italian food in a cozy dining room overlooking the Atlantic. Live music in the lounge, full bar, and a great wine list. Owner Frank Talrico takes great pride in his family recipes from his native Calabria. Fresh fish and seafood, veal, house-made pastas, and marinara sauces smooth as silk. You gotta try the imported meats and cheeses on the antipasta platters, and don't miss that ricotta gnocchi, fluffy little pillows straight from heaven. Casa Calabria, open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday, closed. The finest quality, warm hospitality, and world-class creativity. Those are the ingredients that make Daniel's, a Florida steakhouse, a special place. Come experience the restaurant that's Michelin Guide recommended and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved, with an impressive collection of steaks, seafood, and more, like their foie gras creme brulee. Daniel's is located at 620 South Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale, just south of the New River Tunnel, open Tuesday through Sunday for dinner. For reservations and information, go to danielssteak.com. Hey, it's Mayo here for Prezzo Italian Restaurants. 2 locations, Boca Raton at Park Place on Military Trail and Palm Beach Gardens in the PGA Commons on PGA Boulevard. contemporary Italian cuisine with house-made pastas, wood-fired pizzas, salads, veal, chicken, and of course their famous focaccia bread with oven-roasted garlic bulbs. In Garlic We Trust is their slogan, and you can trust Prezzo for a great experience with gracious service and tremendous value. Open 7 days, featuring brunch, lunch, dinner, and happy hour. Great wine deals and full bar at both locations. For reservations and more information, go to eatprezzo.com. A tradition for South Florida sports fans for more than 30 years, Shenanigans. It's at 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach, the place to go for all your favorite teams and events and food that's not your ordinary sports bar fare. Award-winning wings, burgers, fresh fish, and more, TV screens galore, and all-day happy hour specials. The kitchen and bar are open into the wee hours, perfect for late-night bites and very close to the airport. For playoff action, football season, and a
All right, we're back on the Lunchbox. We've got Tony Segreto, we've got Jeff DeForest, we've got Mike Lubie,
Yes,
we've
sir.
got lunch, and we have a contest.
Yes.
It is time. Are you ready? Oh, before we get to the contest, so the Let's Eat South Florida group is finally zooming in on 200,000. I think we're at
Well, I thought
190.
you had done already.
No,
You said this for, like, months.
199.8. Sometimes,
Oh, really?
sometimes
You always got to
Facebook
wait for
throws
those
it
last
down.
few views.
Yeah.
I mean, it cracked like a certain number.
So, and I was like, I put up a post today, like saying, "Oh, what should we do to celebrate 200,000 members on the Let's Eat
Oh,
group?"
good.
And they said GFY.
I was gonna say.
No, you know what?
Leave it to
Everybody
those
said,
people.
"Let's all show up at Tropical Acres and ask for
Oh.
a table for 200,000." Wise guys.
You know what, though? Jack would be
Wise
able to work it out.
Jack would figure
He's
it
got
out.
a big
actually.
room back there. I don't know if it could accommodate 200,000, but
What
at
would the
least
people
200.
complain about, though? I mean, there's not-
Everything.
Yeah.
And I put on there because I'm just a trolling a-hole that
Yes.
I don't know what y'all are doing to celebrate 200K, but I'm going to Alinea. So
You're a jerk off.
I am, aren't I? But look at this. I got a text just coming across the transom from our friend Antonio at What's Up Deli.
Oh, that
You
place
know
is
the
great.
one that's
No,
great with
no,
all those
no, you don't-
Italian sandwiches
Place is
that used to
great
be your
People,
check
that place
cashing
is
store.
great. That
Most.
place is great.
It's up on Federal Highway in Deerfield Beach. What's Up? They also opened a new one in West Boca out by 441. But
I'd like a gas
Antonio's
station or something. No?
Antonio just relayed this very generous offer. He says to celebrate your 200,000 members, What's Up will give a 50% off to each customer that comes in and shows us that they are a member of the group. Shows the
Oh,
group
nice.
page
Great.
that they're a member.
50% off?
50.
Wow.
Walk in only, so
The-
no
the
carry.
sandwiches already are
walk
like
in.
well
Nah, they're real
priced.
priced.
I mean,
Well,
Not on the
huge.
apps, not on any of the delivery apps, but walk
You go
in
in, okay.
to What's Up, show them that you're a member of Let's Eat, and say that Antonio said I get 50% off, and hashtag Mike Mayo.
Well, this
So-
was a text though. He didn't put this on the group.
no, not yet, but
I'm like, they would be going crazy.
but I'm putting it on there now. He might put it
There's
on.
probably a line out there. I
Yes.
mean,
Well, I know the group's weird about like they don't want you promoting your place, but it's in honor of the group. So
Yeah,
I
it's
can see
like
that working.
it's a little bonus, and just like we give a little bonus here every week with the chance to win
Yes.
not only brunch for two
Yes.
at 10 pounds, we now have a runner-up prize thanks to Mark Felsetto.
Yes.
Every week, the runner-up
Yes, they do.
gets a $25 gift card to
Wow.
Taco Craft. So again,
you don't
people-
even have to win, and you win.
yeah,
Yes.
it's like it's a win
If
and
you
place.
win, you win, and if you lose,
You
you're
win,
still
you
winning.
win.
Right
You
out
win
of
in
Raging
place.
Bull.
At the
Yeah.
track, they
And
pay
you
out
gotta
to
get
3
win in
spots.
place,
We gotta get
exactly.
the show.
We don't have the show prize yet, but if you place, come in
That's still
second,
solid.
you're going to get a nice little consolation prize. And last week, the consolation winner, Dr. Bupkis, who got more than Bupkis, his name is Alan Yard, and he was like, "Am I still eligible to play in the contest?" And yes, if you don't win
Oh,
the
that's
brunch,
interesting. That's an interesting.
you could win the gift
Ah,
card.
Really? You're doing
wow.
But
that?
you're not in the penalty box for 3 months. No, I have no problem with that
Okay.
because
You
the
might want to
grand,
rethink that. You
the-
might want to
no,
rethink
the
it.
grand prize is what excludes
You
you for
and I
3
are bigger
months. You
jerk-offs
get
than
put
you.
into jail.
You're out.
You get,
You know,
you-
it's hard to finish a thought.
it's also hard to come up with all these rules with all these new wrinkles. But
Yeah.
yes, I am a man. You know what? And they mocked me at the beginning.
Oh,
Yeah.
Not just Defo,
Oh, I thought it was
No,
ridiculous.
all of us.
but
Yeah.
Dave Joseph
Dave
just looked at me
Joe.
like I had 4 heads. Guy I've known since the Sun Sentinel. He runs the communications department here at Gulfstream. So, are you crazy? And I was like, no, I'm Mike Mayo. I put faith in my audience and the members. I think they can get it. And not only they get it,
No, they love
but
it.
scores of them every week come in and they put all 3 components. They get it in by noon tomorrow, which is the deadline.
Yeah.
And so this is how it works.
Okay.
You email the answer to the restaurant trivia questions, and then you got to pick the winner of Saturday's Gulfstream Park contest race, which is going to be race 9 on your card. It's a compact but wide open 7-horse race. Numbers 1 through 7 in race 9. And then this week's tiebreaker, of course, is going to be Preakness 150.
So how many is it? 10 horses? That's
There's
it?
9 horses in the
Jeez,
Preakness.
9 horses.
So the
9
Gulfstream
horses.
race, numbers 1 through 7. The Preakness, numbers 1 through 9.
Okay.
You send all 3 components to MikeMayoEats@gmail.com by noon tomorrow, May
Noon.
17th.
Noon.
No.
Noon,
Noon.
not
That
12:07.
doesn't mean
GBK, this guy George Kosenko, last 2 Saturdays, I don't know where he's going. It's 12:07,
Just do it
12:08. Can I
tonight.
still get in? You know, I'll say I would have let
tonight.
you in, George, but luckily he didn't even pick anything right. So, but try to get it in by noon. I'm a kind of a
It's
hard
not that hard.
ass.
Just do it tonight.
All right, Gulfstream contest race. It is the $75,000 roar stakes. Roar. For 3-olds going 5 furlongs on the turf course. If it gets taken off the course of the turf, it's going on the all-weather track. And if your horse scratches late, you get the post-time favorite. This week's tiebreaker, again, Preakness. It's going to be the 13th race on your card, numbers 1 through 9, 1 3/16 miles, post time approximately 7 p.m., and will be called by the great Larry Colmus on NBC and Peacock. And if multiple entrants have all 3 elements right, there'll be a tiebreaker drawing on the next live Lunchbox show that's going to be Monday. And that the early show, we're going to do doubleheader Monday. 1 p.m., we're going to be at 26 Degrees Brewing in Pompano Beach with our new sponsor, Jonathan, and they have new food service there. And then we're going to be doing a happy hour, social hour edition later on with our friend Eddie Pizzoli at Corvina Seafood Grill in Boca. We stay very busy here
Yes, you
on
do.
the Lunchbox. All right, are
It's
you ready?
amazing you stay thin.
And then, yeah, look at all this food. Again,
He's getting thin. It's
all
amazing
about-
you're getting thin.
all about the moderation, Tony. I've learned it all from you. Portion control. All right, are we ready for the questions?
Ready. Let's go.
This week's restaurant, we're going to celebrate the Preakness with some crabs and some beer, the clues. And I can't believe I've never used this restaurant before. We've been doing this for 127 weeks.
Lisa Coach. Geez, really? We've been long.
Yeah.
Lisa Coach will let us know if
Yes.
you have or not.
No, I haven't done this restaurant. I
Okay.
looked it up on my.
Okay.
I keep a master sheet.
I know.
And I mark it up. All right. This restaurant on the Dania Cutoff Canal near Fort Lauderdale Airport started as a small tavern with Italian food in the 1950s.
It's
but
an active restaurant. This is an active
it
restaurant.
still exists. But it switched to a seafood menu in 1959 and then started serving its now signature garlic crabs. It also features crab cakes and Maryland-style steamed Old Bay crabs. Anybody know it yet?
Yes.
Okay. The restaurant got its name when the original owner salvaged a sign from a nearby motel that had shut down. And after being locally owned by the Sessa family for decades, it's now owned by Ark Restaurant Group, a big New York outfit that also operates Blue Moon Fish Company in Lauderdale by the Sea.
Yep.
And number 3, this is one that should be a dead giveaway now. It may be best to bring earplugs and Advil to this restaurant because the cacophony of wooden mallets banging on crabs has been known to trigger headaches.
Yes.
Man, do I hate that noise. They just keep banging and banging all during the meal.
And,
And,
we do have a special guest from Baltimore, Maryland.
All right,
with us
speaking
right
of crab cakes and crabs, Joe Beja, are you on the line?
I sure am. How's everyone doing today?
now.
We're doing all right. A little bit concerned about our friend Luca Panici, who went down in a little bit nasty-looking spill in the last race here. So we're just hoping and praying that everything is okay with Luca. But otherwise, a beautiful day down here. How's it going up in Baltimore?
Oh, it's great. It's a little overcast today. We had a little shower this morning, but compared to how it was earlier in the week, it's good. And it's nice. It's a little balmy. It's near low 80s, so it's a little warm for Maryland, but it's good. Black Eyed Susan Day is underway. I think we're on race 4 or 5 right now.
Race 5 and a 60-1 shot just blew up my pick 5 tickets. Not that I'm bitter or anything, but
Complaining.
everybody loves
He's
a good
bitter.
long shot. But tomorrow's forecast supposed to be dry or still a possibility of some rain?
I heard morning shower, early morning shower.
Okay.
Which is clear up for the rest of the day is what we have, which is great. We had heavy rains all week, kind of put us behind. Couldn't allow any of the track crossings for any of the big trucks and so forth. So, couple of long hours yesterday, obviously, and
Yep.
getting things up and running and set. we're good now. We're in a good space.
How's your end going in terms of the hospitality and all the food and different other events that you guys are putting on up there? Everybody's ready and things are in place?
Yeah, we're doing well. We have in our VIP chalet area, we have the Fabio Trabocchi group out of DC. I know he's got a couple of Michelin stars restaurants, so that's like the ultra VIP area. I myself am overseeing Turfside Terrace, which is the tent that's like the length of a football field on the infield. We have about 2,300 guests in there, and that's all catered by Ridgewell's.
The infield, the pictures you are posting on Instagram are just spectacular, Joe. What you're doing is unbelievable. To see the transformation of the infield.
Yeah, it's
thanks, Tony.
It's an impressive thing. So again, you're overseeing a 2,300 guest experience. It's like Carbone on the beach during the F1. That is
it's unbelievable. It really is.
All right, but let's get to the real important stuff. What have you been eating this week? Anything good?
So I could tell you a couple of great experiences I had. First of all, I took the team on Wednesday. We had a break in the day. I loaded everybody up into like a Suburban and another car. We drove down to Chaps Pit Beef. It's been a Baltimore staple for like almost 40 years.
Wow.
Guy Fieri's been there a couple of times, diners, drive-ins, and dives, whatever. And he's eaten there. It's, Baltimore staple of Pit Beef. What cracks me up is it's actually located in the parking lot of a gentleman's club.
Yes.
So right off of Pulaski Highway and stuff like that. But it's a great spot if you ever come to Baltimore. Highly recommend taking a trek out there because it's the best pit beef in Baltimore. And on Wednesday night, we went to James Beard Award dinner. Zach Wills, who used to come out of Michael Mina Restaurant Group.
Okay.
And he's a partner of a restaurant called True Chesapeake.
Okay.
It's on a small little river there in a redeveloped area of Baltimore. It's in one of the old mills. It's an old printer's mill from like 1790, converted to a restaurant. He sent out, they get a lot of they have their own oyster farm. So he sent out, of course, oysters Rockefeller. He sent out his own creation of oysters, French onion soup oysters.
That's nice.
So those were great with the French onion broth and then the Gruyere on top and baked and so forth. And that was really good.
Look at you.
He did a steak tartare for us, which was great. He did a crab and bone marrow.
Oh, I love anything with
time.
bone marrow on it. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, yesterday
that was really good.
We did a show yesterday at the Daniel's Steakhouse, which I know you like, but I didn't realize the steaks there, they brush them with bone marrow at the end. That gives it that extra, gives it that little extra oomph at the end. And I snored my way to a pretty nice cowboy ribeye on the bone that was brushed with the bone marrow. And Lubie took home the leftovers, though. Did Shirley appreciate that? Or
that'll be dinner tonight.
Oh, it's dinner tonight.
Yeah,
nice. Very good. All right, Joe, are you wearing your Knicks jersey right now? How do you feel about their prospects to close out the series tonight?
I feel good, considering it's in the Madison Square Garden.
He didn't say that.
That sounded not confident at all, Joe.
Well, I was a little. You know what? Honestly, what concerns me the most is without having Tatum, and I know he's a brilliant player, but he plays a lot of isolation ball.
He does.
So I think the Celtics caught the Knicks off guard with all the picks and the rolls, and the passing and stuff. And I think it really. Hopefully they plan better for tonight and they make the adjustments to keep up with them.
Give him the stat, Defo. The stat of the week. Defo has been touting it all week long. What is the Celtics record?
Now 10-2 without Tatum.
Celtics 10-2 this year without Tatum. So
I know they just moved the ball better. So I'm really hoping that the Knicks figure it out tonight and win at home. Because if it goes back to the Boston Garden for Game 7, I'll be really nervous.
Yeah, and the Golden Knights are out. Is that right? Do I have that right?
Yeah.
That's right. Edmonton.
Condolences to them. Joe, let's get back to Gulfstream tomorrow for Preakness Day. Is it business as usual here at 10 Palms, or is there an enhance or anything? What's happening this weekend?
Well, we have a enhanced buffet. We'll have crab cakes on the buffet and some other Maryland staples, and it'll be $75 for the buffet.
Nice.
But you'll also be able to order a la carte, so it's not limited to buffet only.
Okay.
But we'll be showing all the races from Maryland. Of course, we have our own live racing going on.
Yep.
It should be a good day for the Preakness.
Yes, and again, that's every day there's live racing here. 10 Palms is open. Tomorrow you can make your reservations if you want a seat at 10 Palms by going onto the Open Table website or going online to the GulfstreamPark.com website, and you could click through there. And you could also click on and get your tickets for later in the month. What's coming up, Joe?
Oh, we have martinis, paninis, and linguini on the 25th.
It's funny, Joe.
On Sunday,
Tony,
the 25th,
so Tony's going to be heading back to Vermont soon. And out of nowhere, he's like, "Yeah, I'm leaving this time, but we're gonna make sure we do the martinis, paninis, and linguini." He just threw
around.
it in there. I'm like, "Okay."
Nice.
You know you're doing something right when Tony Segreto is planning his summer travel around the next Taste at the Track.
The event.
It's going to be
I
great.
know. I'm honored. I am honored.
And again, it's going to be a VIP hour at first, and then general admission, and those tickets available. Also, GulfstreamPark.com. Get them now. What's the pricing for that, Joe?
$85 for VIP and $60 for general admission.
And it's, I hate to play favorites because I like long shots, but this is my favorite Taste at the Track. And I know you've only done it once, but Italian food, I was born Jewish, but I should have been born Italian because
New York Jew.
The job you did New York Jews are practically Italian because I loved everything you did, especially that great carpaccio was unbelievably good. So is that going to be making a comeback?
I hope so. I haven't seen the final menu from the chef yet. He actually flew up yesterday just to kind of help out with any special emergencies for Preakness and stuff. So he's up here right now, and I'm sure I'll get the menu and I'll be able to share it next week.
So and next week you're going to be a week out, right? So you'll have a better idea of menus and stuff.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
all
correct.
Right. We'll let the man get through the Preakness first. Do you have any selection? Because our friend Defo here has turned into a chalk-eating pig. He likes journalism. I love River Thames.
He doesn't like him. He talked to the freaking jockey. Like, what is he supposed to do?
Yeah, for one of his shows. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm more of a Sandman favorite, so I think that's what I'm going to be.
Mayo can't stand
That's
Sandman.
why.
You know what?
Segreto likes Sandman.
He concerns me a bit. I'm not as concerned about because the Wise Guy horse never wins, and that number 7 horse, I guess it's Sandman is the 7. Clever Again is the Wise Guy horse with Jose Ortiz. Yeah. Sandman concerns me, but that's a good pick. I'm going with River Thames. He ran here at the Gulfstream Championship meet. And I think Todd Pletcher has never won the Preakness. I think it's time that he adds that to his already very impressive resume. Joe, any other final comments before we'll let you go off to do the Preakness thing?
No, we're all good. Glad I finally chimed in. My apologies for being late.
Oh, there's no worries at all. I wasn't even expecting to hear from you today. I know you're so busy up there, but enjoy the Preakness. Have a crab cake for me, and go Knicks.
Yeah, we're all on the next
and Panthers. Yeah.
Thanks, Joe.
All right, Joe. Let's take our third and final break, and then we'll wrap up this week of the Lunchbox after these words.
For the finest poultry and the freshest fish, Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market, located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, open 7 days. Since 1951, a South Florida tradition for stone crab in season, Thanksgiving turkeys, holiday feasts, and everyday eating. Great steaks, house-made sausage, and prepared foods, too. Delaware is not just a market, it's a celebration of taste, quality, and old-fashioned customer service with a smile. Sign up for their weekly email flyer at DelawareChicken.com and tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a great bagel with lox, matzo ball soup, deli sandwich, and rugelach, you know where I go? Grandpa's Restaurant in Dania Beach. It's a South Florida institution since 1957 that was revamped a few years back by a pair of New York bagel baking legends. Full deli and appetizing case with spreads, salads, and platters for takeout and catering. Grandpa's is near Federal Highway just north of Sterling Road, open 7 days for breakfast and lunch. Go eat and enjoy. It's Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. For the finest and authentic Greek cuisine, Taverna Kima is the place to go. 6298 North Federal Highway in Boca Raton. It's been around for nearly 2 decades. Every day is a feast with grilled lamb and fish, house-made spinach pie and moussaka, gyros, traditional dips, mezes, with soft, warm pita. It's open 7 days for lunch and dinner with happy hour daily from 3 to 6 p.m., indoor, outdoor, private dining. So celebrate life at Taverna Kima. For reservations and information, go to tavernakima.com. When I get a craving for real Southern barbecue, Fat Boy's Barbecue is the place that I call home. Cooked low and slow with proper smoke and dry rub goodness, Fat Boy's has some of the best ribs, brisket, burnt ends, pulled pork, and chicken around. 5 delectable sauces and the tastiest collard greens, candied yams, and cornbread this side of heaven. 4 locations, including Deerfield, Coral Springs, Cypress Creek Road, and their newest location in downtown Fort Lauderdale, 706 South Federal Highway. Open 7 days with great lunch specials, online ordering, delivery, catering, and food trucks for your next event. To order, go to fatboysbarbecue.com today. That's Fat Boy. When people ask me about the best restaurants in South Florida, Casa D'Angelo is always at the top of my list. First-class dining, top-flight service, elegant atmosphere, and chef-founder Angelo Ilia is legendary. The flagship in Fort Lauderdale has been serving the finest Italian cuisine since 1997, with other locations in Boca Raton and Aventura. As Angelo himself says, they have an unwavering commitment to unparalleled quality with meticulous attention to details. It's so good, with house-made pastas, pristine seafood, unique meats like elk chops and bison, and seasonal specialties including fragrant fresh truffles from Italy. All locations open 7 days for dinner. Reservations recommended. For a special occasion or any occasion, Casa D'Angelo. Tell them Mike Mayo sent you. Hey, it's Mayo for Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Delicious Mexican food with innovative twists. Margaritas with a medley of tongue-tingling flavors. I'm talking about Taco Craft, Taqueria, and Tequila Bar. The place to go on Taco Tuesday and every day. It's located at 510 North Federal and Highway in Fort Lauderdale, and also in Lauderdale by the Sea at Plantation Walk and Coral Springs. Taco Craft has specials every day, including bottomless drinks for Sunday brunch, and Taco Tuesdays, including their new birria tacos with bone marrow broth. Oh, it's so good. They've even made a taco lover out of me, and they've got so much more, including fajitas, that open-faced smashed cheeseburger tortilla that's new, and a guacamole sample that's an explosion of flavors. The kitchen is open late. There's delivery and takeout. For more information, go to tacocraft.com.
All right, we're back on the Lunchbox. 10 Palms at Gulfstream, Black Eyed Susan Day, Preakness tomorrow, Panthers game tonight, Mets Yankees tonight, another big series in baseball.
Yankees.
Knicks Celtics, and I've got some really good news, and the old journalistic background coming in handy. Not me, but my actually sister-in-law who works downstairs here at Gulfstream.
Her name is Tracy. Good job.
Gave us an eyewitness report that Luca Panici apparently was wheeled out on a stretcher, but he was conscious, awake, and in a neck brace as a precautionary measure, being taken to a local hospital for evaluation. But as he was being wheeled out, he gave the thumbs up sign, which is we now know that as sport fans, if the thumbs up means they can feel their extremities and move their arms and legs. So thank God, Luca Panici, friend of Defo, friend of the show.
Friend of the show. He's a great man.
Great man.
And it's just good news. And
it's great. It's funny, as much people give crap to the sport, because I get it, the concerns, but again, we've seen there's concerns with every sport. Injuries happen to athletes of all kinds. I forget just how dangerous, and Defo was talking about it, but I forget how dangerous horse racing is, because these guys are so good at what they do. They'll race. Luca will race 3 or 4 times a day sometimes, and they act like it's nothing, and they're just so comfortable with it that you forget it's a 2-ton animal. And the craziest thing, again, and they're racing with 8 other 2-ton animals.
And these guys,
the craziest things can happen. Like, that's
Thin
insane.
Thin little spindly legs, half-ton, 1,000-pound, 1,100-pound animals, going 40 miles an hour, maneuvering through holes, bumping each other. Sovereignty at the beginning of the Derby, clips heels. He almost went down. He wins it.
Heels, yes.
And his jockey, Junior Alvarado, right? Wait, was it Junior? Yeah, Junior won his first Derby, but just like 4 weeks before, he got hurt here at Gulfstream. I think he hurt his elbow or something. He was sidelined. A lot of people thought he was going to lose the mount on Sovereignty. Bill Mott gave it to him back. These guys are tough, and when they get injured, they come back they keep coming back for more.
Well,
and
we know
sometimes-
Luke is tough as
Yeah, so
nails, so.
glad to hear that the preliminary report suggests that he is okay.
Thank God.
He is going to local hospital for observation, check him out, X-ray everything, but hopefully everything will check out all right, and he'll be back in business soon. So, very good news here.
Yes.
That's going to do it for today. Monday, again, we're going to be 1 o'clock at 26 Degrees Brewing in Pompano Beach. I'm excited to get back there because the first time we went a couple of weeks ago
We
was
didn't
for
have any other food.
the matzo ball. We were so busy heaping praise on Danny Surfer and his schmaltzy balls, and also awarding the judges competition blind tasting to 2J's, which is an upset that's as big as an American Pope, Tony.
Yes,
I know.
But we're going back now because 26 Degrees Brewing has just recently introduced full food service from its own kitchen, and they're doing lunch and dinner every day. So we're going to get in there. Again, the menu designed by Danny Surfer, a friend who has Mignonette and Blue Collar restaurants in Miami, but he's been longtime friends with the 26 Degrees owner, Jonathan, and developed this great menu. We're going to eat some of the food there. Come on out because they are open for lunch and dinner. Monday we'll be there at 1 o'clock, and I believe it's 2600 East. Just something
it's
went down.
Atlantic Boulevard east
Atlantic.
of Federal.
I shouldn't have had that last piece of pasta. Moderation, Tony.
It's just 26 Degrees Brewing. It's very easy to find.
All right, that's going to do it for today. I'm going to try to avoid choking and enjoy the weekend, everybody. I'll enjoy my $1,000 meal at Alinea.
Yes.
Sorry.
I hope you
And
enjoy it.
$1,000
Yeah, well,
tip.
we'll let them eat cake. Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend. Enjoy every sandwich.
What's next is the question.